At the end of an imperfect night, an oddly shaped shadow drifts about, shattering parts of the stars. Its body refuses to define its form and diffuses itself like a ripple. It never exists in the same form, not even for a moment, and it does not even dare to say, "I am here." The sand at the bottom of the water does not record traces. The memory of the swaying water plants soon blurs. The inability to leave proof of existence seems like a sin. But it is freedom. The act of limiting the world by fixing its contours, cutting off its flow and naming itself. The lack of perfection is a sign of constant transformation, and the swimming deformity is a symbol of possibility. The music played by formless forms is an anthem of imperfection. It gently touches the heart, and then disappears in the midst of fluctuations. The contours of the shape continually blur, crumble, and take shape again. Unfinished and without any intention of approaching completion, the deformities deceive time by simply swimming. Their existence is a mockery of the deception of the word completion. But as they begin to spin, we realize that there is no such thing as an answer, no stationary point. Their outlines, blurred and elusive in the corners of the viewer's field of vision, diminish and multiply the will to search for answers. Even the act we call breathing is unnecessary for them, and the grace of gravity is meaningless. Imperfection is freedom itself, and the fluidity of the formless is pregnant with possibility. The possibilities are the transcriptions drawn by the magic of the sky, which, if grasped, will all spill out through the cracks of our fingers. It is a forgiveness for being imperfect, for being less than perfect. Swimming deformities, not evolving but simply being, continue to disturb the observer's gaze, and then they disappear. As if nothing had happened, not even a shadow is left behind. All that was left was a floating sense of unstable questions. The figure barely deserves to be called a form. Acute and obtuse angles jostle with each other, and vague contours drift between curves and straight lines. It is like the remnants of a concept that was left behind by immature reason, on its way to birth. It is too indefinite and ephemeral to bear the word completion. In a liquid that cannot even be called an ocean, it has neither purpose nor direction, but simply floats. Their movements fluctuate, sometimes showing a semblance of order, but in the next instant, that order collapses as well. This chain of contradictions is their essence. Some praise them as unfinished beauty, while others despise them as illusions of chaos. Those who touch them are bewildered by the coldness and heat, smoothness and roughness of their surfaces. They are minute rebels who resist the static flow of the world, who are not trapped in a cage of norms. The cracked surface of the water dissolves dreams, and the moon floats like a murky pearl. Their swaying is a nameless deformity. With its missing wings, the figure swims unfinished, incomplete, as if a chapter of a story has been torn out. The rhythm of its breathing is disordered, and a bubble of silence accumulates in the depths of its lungs. It does not even have the power to determine whether it sinks or floats. It just wavers. The shadows on the bottom of the water blur as if they are mocking our own contours. And even the proof of their existence becomes ambiguous, where lines and bending light intersect. The shape is an indefinite contour, as if fragments of a myth have melted together at the bottom of the water. The fluid body that continues to refuse the word completion wavers, as if afraid to be defined by anyone. And even the moonlight that wanders into the depths of the night cannot grasp its shadow. But the swimmer is certain. It is wild, it has a certain rhythm, as if it is aiming for something invisible when in fact it may be merely trying to escape from the ridiculous and foolish effort to pursue the illusion of perfection of existence. The movement of the deformed one tears through the fabric of time. The future and the past are caught up in the swim, changing shape with each passing moment. And the things that cannot be caught up with and the things that are chasing after them become entangled. Freedom drowning in untouchable longing. Longing drowning in freedom, formless shadows dance in cracked silver filtration. Ask what it is, and the answer dissolves in a mirage. A being without outline, floating and sinking like a bubble, weaving a story that is perfect because of its imperfection. Chipped tail fins, distorted fins, interrupted rhythms. They are a seemingly incongruous melody. But behind the ripples, order beats quietly. Chaos dreams of order, like light crawling up the spine of darkness. Swimming is a journey, not a consequence. The deformed are therefore free. Unencumbered by form, they simply flow, drift, and their very lack of self becomes a point of contact with the world.